So, weekly update. I think this is episode 7. Let's see what we're going to cover today. This video will be up following this video. We will have the Aero Rims video, installation, cost breakdown, where's a cheap place for tires, and some nice eye candy shots. They actually didn't look too bad. Some things going on this week. Autopilot was released on Thursday. Yes, it actually is real. Autopilot has been quickly, and I think this is the fastest I've ever seen Tesla do a firmware roll out a firmware update. Even I got a firmware update with firmware version 7. But Autopilot, got to see it in person. Didn't get to spend very much time, just maybe 3 minutes. And didn't get to play around with the user interface on that car. But man, impressive. A lot better than I was expecting. Some people didn't think it was as good as it should have been. I can't wait to take that on the freeway. I already got some phone calls. Unfortunately, they all went to voicemail because I was on the other line. But I've already gotten phone calls from viewers saying, well, one guy by Niagara Falls with a P85D said he did 17 miles on the highway without touching the steering wheel. That's not bad. I think I'm going to try and push that. I'm going to try and make that 120, 200 miles. Impressive. I mean, it keeps you in your lane. I can't comment too much more onto that until I can actually get in one and drive one. And probably the only way that's going to happen is I doubt anybody's going to bring one by me or have one around here for me to work with. Although if I have any viewers out there around southeastern Wisconsin that would let me play around with, you're welcome to come with me. I don't want to, take someone's car and just drive. But if you have Autopilot and you're in southeastern Wisconsin somewhere and want to be part of a YouTube video, please give me a shout. I would like to hook up with you. Otherwise, given my car's history, I'm getting due for another breakdown, so my car should be having something break on it within the next 1 or 2 weeks. Which means I get a loaner, and so far all the loaners lately have had Autopilot hardware. So, and hopefully it'd have the firmware too. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe get one for the weekend. Now, firmware 7. Didn't get to look at the Autopilot version of firmware 7, which is different than the Model S Classic firmware 7. Now, I have a Model S Classic. So things are a little different. We don't have any of the Autopilot or sensors or cameras that the Autopilot cars have, or the dual motors. So there's a lot of features on that we don't or can't make use of. However, they did also give us a complete redesign. Now, I did not update my car because at first I saw a lot of pictures of it and a lot of talking about what is there and what was there that's not there anymore. So, did manage to get into a non-Autopilot car with version 7. Didn't get a chance to take pictures. Kids had to go to school, so on and so forth. I'm sure I'm going to be forced eventually to upgrade, and I'm going to end up upgrading to version 7 anyways, just so I can show you guys all. In the meantime, don't update if you have a classic Model S. There is almost nothing in it that you'll be able to make use of. There's a few very extremely minor improvements. We supposedly have gotten now torque sleep, which completely shuts power going to the motor when you are at a complete stop with the brakes depressed. There's supposed to be some power increases, but even that not all the classic cars are even getting that function. There is something about the car will heat up and cool down quicker while using less power, which it very might well do. But here's the problem. They moved things around. They took things out. The best way I can describe it is you take Windows XP. It worked. It worked well. And then they gave you Windows 8, which is a pile of crap. Basically, Tesla just took their Windows XP and made it Windows 8. Or if you're an eBay user and you recently updated your eBay app, it worked great on the previous version, and they decided just to completely redesign it. Now it works so bad, I'll go out of my way to use a computer over the app. I mean, I can't even check my feedback score anymore. Or as of yesterday, Yahoo just updated their Yahoo Mail app. The previous version worked perfect. No, not perfect. It worked 95% perfect. They just completely redesigned it. And now I wouldn't even use it to wipe my... See where I'm going with this? Tesla moved things around, and they got rid of some things that we were very used to seeing. Just they got rid of numbers on the energy graph on the speedo screen. They put a giant analog style clock on the left side of the speedometer screen. What? They got rid of the time and date on the speedo screen and temperature. Well, yeah, you can look at the center screen, but come on, why do I want to distract myself if I don't have to? We're used to things how they are a certain way. It could have been done without having to obliterate the existing user experience. Until I decide that I actually want to update, and right now I do not. Anytime I go in for service, I am going to make sure they know I am not accepting my car back if it has the new firmware on it. If I want the new firmware, I will put it on myself. And right now, at least with the limited time I got to play with it, I don't want it. And until I can play around with it more, and even then, it doesn't look right. It looks out of place. It looks hodgepodge. I would say this is the turning point where we can honestly say the first generation Model S, or the classic Model S, which is the non-autopilot, non-dual motor versions. I should just say the non-autopilot, because now you can still get single motor versions of the Model S, but now all Model S's have autopilot hardware. Whether or not you're paying for the access to it or not, they all have the hardware. So pre-autopilot cars, version 1 of the Model S. At this point, I can safely say we are now done, obsolete, and all focus is off of us, and now on to the next big thing, which is somewhat sad because if it wasn't for us first 50,000 purchasers of the Tesla Model S's and our higher down payment / deposits and so on and so forth, there wouldn't be a there wouldn't be a Tesla to make a Model S version 2 or a Model X. So hopefully they get the idea. If you check the forums, some people like it, but so far it looks like the vast majority of people do not. Next, well, it is October. I'll be doing a whole thing on the firmware. I'd like to borrow, or at least spend maybe a half hour inside a friend's car. That the gentleman that did update to the version 7 on his classic version, and then again on, because I just don't think I'm going to update yet. Not maybe 7.1 will be a little different. Elon said there's going to be more changes in 7.1 coming in a few weeks. Maybe I'll give that one a swing. So I'll have a whole video on that once the time comes. Now it is October, just a little departure from the norm. You guys know I do a lot with trains, steam trains on a historical railway. Well, we're having our own our yearly ghost train that second annual ghost train. I started it last year with the first annual. So they can wait. So that's tomorrow night. We're having our second annual one. We go out, take a steam train ride through the forest at night, come to camp siding, where it's an old Civil War era little cabin-ish thing. It's been updated a few dozen times though over the last 100 and something years. And then we have a campfire, and the only way to get to this is by train, narrow gauge rail train. So we have a campfire. We're gonna have some hot dogs, marshmallows, coffee and hot chocolate and apple cider. It's all decorated, got the fog machines going, and we tell some ghost stories. So if I can get enough lighting to make it worthwhile, maybe some of you will like to join me for the ghost train ride, at least through my channel. And actually, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is, well, by the time you guys see this, it might be tomorrow, Saturday, which would be the 17th. Let's see. Yeah, tomorrow's the 17th of October 2015. If some of you would like to come to the Wisconsin Dells and go for a ride, absolutely, it's on the house. Just come on in and have some fun. Contact me first. Otherwise, they won't let you on the train. Well, I'm probably going to be driving. But contact me first. I'll be there, but I need to know in advance because it's a private thing for the volunteers, at least right now. I'm really pushing for making it a public thing every year because the Riverside and Great Northern runs on donations and ticket sales, and we definitely can use that. Let's see. Well, last week Friday, the video was late, of course, because I was at the YouTube event. We held a little contest for a Nalapure water filtration, direct connect water filtration system for under your kitchen sink, or whatever sink you want to connect it up to, I guess. Before we put the entries, I put them all in little equally sized squares of paper. We're going to put those in the hat. I'm going to shake it up and pick one out. I wanted Gene to pick one out, and Gene finally outgrew his little hat, but don't worry, I found a larger one. Same style too. I wanted Gene to pick the winning entry out, but I ran out of time, and he's at school, and I need to film this now because I won't have time. I'm going on I gotta do a drive this evening, so I need the video done before that, so once I arrive at my destination, that thankfully has fast freaking internet for upload, I can just hit the upload right away. So maybe I could get one of these Friday videos actually uploaded on a, I don't know, Friday. So anyways, we're going to be doing that drawing in just a second. I am going to be holding monthly contests from now on. After this one, it will be the entry period, and what the contest will be for will be announced on the second to last Friday update video, and the winner will be announced on the last Friday of the month. So the last 2 Fridays. So you got a week to get your entry in. I know right now emailing me and me putting on those squares doesn't quite work the best, but for right now, with the limited number of entries, I think it'll be just fine. Got about 20 of them for this week. Not too shabby. But unfortunately, this week's, due to the sponsored product, they wanted the U.S. only. From now on, it will all be international. Anywhere you are in the world, you can enter, and I will ship it to you. The only difference is if you're outside the U.S., I do ask that you pay the shipping costs, which, depending on what it is, could be cheap, could be more expensive, or not at all, depending if it's a virtual item or a virtual gift card, whatever I can work out. I don't know. So that's the only thing for the future ones. So for this, let's get the entries in here. Whoops. Gotta keep them in there. Just want to get them mixed up real good. Come on, stay in. I am just... What are they? No, it didn't fall out. Okay. All right. Mix them up a little more. And the winner is Carl P. Of course, I'm not going to say the last name. Carl P. of I can't pronounce this. Sammamish, Washington. Well, Carl, you are the winner. I will be, well, actually, I already have your address. I will be forwarding that on to Nala Pure, and they will be shipping out your winning your prize. Congratulations. I'm thinking for next month, you know what, for the holiday season, November and December, I think I'll do a few more than one prize. I'll do a couple more. I mean, come on, it's the holiday season, Christmas time, spirit of giving. I think we'll do maybe a whole bunch of Tesla gear. How's that sound? Some shirts, maybe jackets. I'll have to see what I can get my hands on. Well, I'm going to cut this video off now, and I will see you all next week.